going down as well. Finally to Dr. Mundo. 2 for 1 so far. And now, goodbye to Hiva. 3 kills now for C9EU. Wonderful fight right here. 3-1.
Now Jarvan doesn't want to face check that, but Voidal going in.
And goodbye. Triple kill now for Hjarnan and C9EU. Misses the EQ.
It's a little bit long right there.
Yeah. I feel like there's no steal coming in though, so it's going to be all right. Voidal maybe could have soloed it, but there we go. 3rd Dragon in a row now for Cloud9 Europe, and these guys are looking pretty good now in the mid game.
Yeah, they're definitely feeling good about this game. They've got a substantial gold lead now, and that was really why I was not thinking that heavy bot lane were going to start up the next Dragon, and was a little bit surprised that Airwalks went in for the initiate. But really well played team fight by C9EU once the buy did initiate.
Yeah, I've got to give a lot of props to Hjarnan as well in this fight. In this game sort of in general, he's the number 7 player in Challenger solo queue right now on EU West. And you're kind of seeing how he's earned that spot. We talked about him in the pregame. He had some kind of ludicrous like 8-0-6 score on Lucian. Here he is 5-0-1.
Yeah.
Still hasn't died, taking away other people in like the top of ranked 5s. Like, clearly a good player.
Plus, he got a culling kill in that one, so definitely bonus points right there.
That Bloodthirster, man, we talked about it. He got the item. Trinity Force second. It's good enough. And it's going to be Omni forced to run away, but heavy bot lane sitting 4 people top, and they're going to go in onto Dr. Mundo. He engages there. The armor shred already there from Vi as well, tanking up the turret. And do they have enough damage? Looks like yes. Nardia is going to pick up that kill. Caitlyn's going to like that to catch up in this game.
A little bit of a rotation here from Cloud9 EU, but Vivien going aggressive again in mid.
Can he find a Starry? Those should have the Wind Slash still available, but 400 health on Gragas might be enough. Oh, the Flash Stun's going to be enough. There's the execute. Vivien taking a solo kill.
Another beautiful kill. They did also rotate up to the top, like I said, but with only 2 members, not able to stop the turret destruction. They left Lucian down in the bottom lane because he's getting a secondary turret, whereas they only lost an outer for this.
Wow, incredible stuff. And the flash engage there on the Hitiva, sorry. And let's see if they can do enough right there. Yes, one more attack. Who picks up that kill? Unassisted, actually, just putting the damage in there.
Oh, Hiva left all by himself right there. The flash EQ from Jarvan. Oh, wow, another secondary turret down. Cloud9 are running over this game.
Yeah, Cloud9 suddenly just spiked in the mid game and said, we're all going to beat you individually in all of our given 1v1 matchups. And they've been using that to push the map down. But now for Vivien, forced to run Kabashard, being pretty scary. Vi in the chase as well. This
is not a Shyvana who went for a Blade of the Ruin King, though. So the scary kill potential not quite there. Just a slow burn from the Sunfire. I guess they were counting on that Gragas with the Morel Anomicon to really be their counter to that late game Mundo. And didn't feel like they needed the percentage health damage of a Blade of the Ruin King Shyvana.
Yeah, well, it's just kind of a scary, tanky Dragon Lady instead right there, going for the Rendra's Omen next up right there. Hjarnan, though, getting hit up a little bit by Hiva, forced to run away. Of course, you saw that Baron attempt getting stopped rather quickly by the Gragas. Looks like there was just enough vision coverage for heavy bot lane here, but you're certainly seeing these guys turn the screws and try to control more of the map.
Yeah, it is every jungler's nightmare to have a Gragas on the opponent team because, you know, as soon as they see that guy coming over, just scream for your team to stop doing Baron. You don't want to make him make you look silly by making you miss a smite there.
Yeah.
From pretty much any angle, he can get the full combo off.
Sure. I know we were talking about it back in Riot. It's like you should bring a Yasuo to counter red side Gragas, so you can win wall and feel really good about it. One day we'll see that. We'll see the smite steals getting blocked, and it'll be like the counter steal. We'll see one day. Ward slightly missing in the brush right there, though. Unfortunately, Voidal slightly missing that one, but Cloud9 EU going to try again, but right in the face of a Ward. They look for this Baron attempt. I don't know if it's going to succeed, though.
Well, they do have Mundo taking it, so he'll be able to regen a lot quicker than a lot of other members will. Also, setting this bush gank is a pretty decent idea, but they only have 2 members up there. So a Voidal flashes out onto a trap and into Baron damage. Gonna get taken pretty low.
That is the second early flash in from Voidal, but the engage comes in from Airwalks. Hjarnan down to half HP right there. Will the Gragas shut him down?
Got it.
Yes, it will. 1 for 0. The knockup lands on a 2 from Zyra, and the fight has begun. Romney ignited, trying to run away. Not getting a whole bunch of regen, but looks like he will escape from this fight. But these Baron attempts are not working out for C9EU.
Yeah, so it was actually that bush, a little sneaky 2-man bush gank up there that they set up with Lucian and Thresh that didn't work out. Getting both members caught meant they had to blow Voidal's flash, going over the edge, and him being that low, they were on full retreat. Great move by Vi, going for the ult immediately onto the 5-kill AD carry, and Gragas following that up with the ulti combo. Perfect for them. They got exactly what they needed out of that, but it only bought them some more time. They're still very far behind in this team, or in this game, and they have to keep their heads about them and try and just get a little bit of vision back in their own jungle.
Well, they're doing at least a good job of getting the opponents out of there and out of their lawns. So they can at least sweep a little bit, but still only one lens so far for heavy bot lane. They actually don't remove wards that rapidly. And you talk about that vision control being important. That might be something to keep track of. Cloud9, they're just walking back to Baron over and over again, this time just with wards. At least now they know they're not going to see when they inevitably try it again.
So that one was Jarvan's pink. You get 5 pinks per team, 1 on each person. But a lot of other members out of extra slots too. So a little bit harder for them to control that vision. And they've actually upped it to 3 sweepers here for the C9 EU team.
Yeah, they're following typical form actually. What we've seen from the Koreans is the top laner and AD carry never switch their trinket. The other 3 tend to by the end game. So Cloud9 at least doing some of their homework and seeing how the other pro teams are doing it. Following that trade, nice smite right there, Ku picking up the red buff steal. So Cloud9 EU still trying to stay in control of this jungle of what would normally be heavy bot lane's jungle.
And it looks like they're going to do the shove 2 lane here with a 2-3 split push, trying to get top and mid shoved up far enough so that they can buy time to go take that dragon. This late in the game, dragon is worth a substantial amount of gold, but Airwalk's making them pay for it.
And they're not keeping Ku locked up enough. There's the Gragas ult. He's going to go back in and say, yeah, I'm probably going to die, but jumps over the wall. Lantern comes off, but is on the wrong side here. Ku finally does go down, but Oramne shows up. A 4 versus 5, though. Mundo might be in the wrong spot right there. Does he have the flash to get away? No, he does not. And it's just all the damage coming across. Double kill here for Caitlyn. 3-3-3 on her. And now it's a 3 versus 5. Cloud9 EU forced to run.
I feel like that was a good idea by Cloud9 to shove up the 2 lanes and then retreat back to Dragon, but their rotation was so slow and it was uncohesive. You know, we had Jarvan staying in the mid lane there. It was a 2-man at Dragon, 2 up top and 1 in mid. They just got caught out, and you can't make positional mistakes like that against the team with Vi, because he will immediately ultimate you and kill you.
Yeah, not to mention the Randuin's Omen now done for Airwalks as well. So even more crowd control available. Can get the on-demand slow to help out a bit more. Of course, the Shyvana going to be doing the same thing right now. There we go, double Randuin's Omen already done. You talked about this C9 EU team being all physical. There's a lot of armor coming in.
There's a lot of armor coming in. That's, you know, probably one of the reasons Shyvana didn't go with the early Blade of the Ruined King. She wanted to stack that up. But I have to say, heavy bot lane have gotten 2 really big wins in a row for themselves. Even though they are still behind, they're on a really good path to a comeback here.
Momentum definitely in their favor right now. Cloud9 EU haven't found anything new to do in a while. I think that's fair to say. They've gotten the dragons, that's been nice, but their attempts to end the game with Baron haven't gone anywhere. They've kind of stopped pushing for now. They've got that outer ring of 6 turrets, and then Cloud9 EU's kind of run out of things to do.
It does look like they're lacking a little bit of discipline here. That the last rotation there being so sloppy with splitting everyone up. Definitely a little bit less communication than they need to finish this one out. Maybe they got, you know, a little bit too happy with the extra gold that they had, the extra gold lead they had over heavy bot lane. But they are opening up the doors here for a really nice comeback. And it's enabled heavy bot lane to get some wards down around Baron, plus gives them the opportunity to kill some of the pinks. 2 pinks down again here.
Yeah, there we go. 2 removed. Heavy bot lane getting rid of actually all the ward coverage that existed in this top side jungle. You have 0 vision whatsoever for the blue team outside of minions and champion bodies here. So good stuff there by heavy bot lane to take that area of the map back. And you just see him going back and forth. Boyle runs up, uses sweeping lens, kills off some wards, puts his own down, and they keep going back and forth.
Now, I do have a theory on the new trinkets, and I think that the really underused one, the orb, is actually a very good tool for teams that are really far behind, because if you just even pick up one, when you're really far behind and you've lost all vision control of your jungle and of the Baron area, it enables you to actually at least check Baron without having to put your life at risk. You don't always want to have your support walking over there to drop a ward over the wall, because a lot of teams can just jump that wall and kill you. So just getting one of those orbs is actually a really good strategy, I think, for teams that are behind and trying to come back. It's just that everybody's kind of written off those orbs as just trash tier trinkets and haven't really decided to try that.
I agree. They should give them a better chance at this one. But let's see what they do with this one. Cloud9 EU back to the splits. And actually, they're making it a 1-3-1 split. They've got the Mundo in the bottom lane. He's got the teleport. Easy to bring him across the map. But Ku on Jarvan actually sitting there in the top lane as well. And the rest of the team kind of lurking around in the mid lane here. So trying to get all the lanes pushed up now with C9 EU. We'll see if they can do anything with that. Try to find their way into this map.
Oh no! Whiffs the culling. Everybody's sad.
Aww.
Oh well. They did clear out the extra ward there in the river though around Baron. So one sweeper successful. They have one left off cooldown. But there's a ward again inside Baron Pit. So again, the bait is so hard nowadays. With Vision being such a restricted resource for your team, you really have to practice this and be coordinated.
Yeah, these guys haven't been able to completely wrest control despite the fact that they have that same 6,000 gold lead they've had for like the entire mid game here. These guys just aren't finding their ways to completely blind everyone, make things happen. It's Cloud9 kind of no longer having any wind in their sails. They're not going anywhere really. They're trying again though in face of a ward. Cloud9 EU trying to knock this Baron down.
He did miss the sweep too. It was just outside of the circle. They're burning it down so fast though that they can't stop now. You have to go for it. Even though there's a Gragas on the other time, this is a 50-50.
All right, the damage coming across. Who can pick it up? Got to be red team getting Baron Nash with his heavy bot lane, and they pick up a kill for it as well. Goodbye to Ku, who did try to smite, but didn't quite land it in time there. Omne forced a little bit low. Is going to be chased down. Has a lantern and does manage to click it. The box from Void are going to let him run away, but heavy bot lane in a big way get back in this game.
That could have all been avoided by upgrading the sweeper up to the Oracle's sweeping lens, because then you don't have to deal with just a small little radius there, and you could have just gotten that extra inch to the back of the Baron Pit to see that ward. But really, really well played once again by heavy bot lane. I have to keep giving them credit because they're making the right moves on the path to a comeback here. This is the third one in a row where they've had the victory that they needed to. Even though it started out terribly for them, they're making all the right comeback moves.
And now the question is, does Dragon switch hands finally? We're a minute 12 away, and heavy bot lane, though they're down, I think, 0-4 at this point in Dragon, it's Cloud9 E who's taken them all, but despite a 3,000 gold deficit, I feel like bot lane is the stronger team in the map because of Baron buff.
Baron buff definitely is going to put them ahead here. They've got amazing regen as well if they want to go siege up. We touched on the extra range that this bottom lane has. That's great for coming into a tower siege because they have a mid lane Gragas who can knock away the Cloud9 EU team from the turret and allow not only the Caitlyn and the Zyra, but the rest of the team to grab some early hits on that turret and get some very good turret damage down. Meanwhile, they can rely on the regen from that Baron buff to sustain, even though they have no heals on the team.
Well, and here we go. Looks like the team is getting ready to siege, but Cloud9 EU will not give up the pushes on the sides. They forced to run away, outnumbered in the mid. He will run away successfully, but you saw Ku on Jarvan pushing the bottom lane, creating pressure there. He might pull a rotation later on. We'll see. Heavy bot lane still about 2 minutes left on their Baron buff, looking for some tasty minions and a tasty turret in this mid lane.
Meanwhile, Cloud9 EU have also built 2 Last Whispers on a couple of their attack damage heavy damage threads here. So they only need one more before, you know, that early armor stacking becomes that much less effective here from heavy bot lane. So it's really coming down to a late game team fight oriented game here. Whoever makes the first positional mistake for the next team fight that does come up is going to be the one that really pays the price, because the next objective that goes down is going to be an inhibitor turret, and the first team to have that breached is going to be at a huge disadvantage.
So let's see what these teams can do about this right now. Heavy bot lane still on Baron buff. They did get the uncontested Dragon as the rewards for their really, really good team fight just a few minutes ago. And now these guys look for this mid lane. The side lanes, pretty standard. They're kind of holding still around the river, not pushing too quickly just yet. And it's the mid lane just getting kind of wave clear, despite the fact that C9 EU, mostly melee, they're getting rid of minions pretty cleanly.
They do have pretty good wave clear, even though they are pretty melee heavy. It's because Lucian got so fed so early. He does an insane amount of damage, and a lot of the line damage can be used to clear out wave after wave after wave. The only thing they have to worry about is his mana pool, which is fairly low, being that he's an AD carry. And they do have to worry about that for team fights after wave clearing, after multiple wave clears, because not having mana on the Lucian in the team fight would be disastrous for them.
Okay. So caster-based AD carry. Definitely don't want to on him. He is changing up his build a little bit, though, going towards an Infinity Edge next. So the auto attack damage is going to be growing there pretty rapidly. And to be fair, his itemization is still very far ahead of the AD carry of heavy bot lane there. We talked about how well the Caitlyn did in the pregame. In their prior match, we've still got a better AD carry, or at least a more fed AD carry here on Cloud9 EU. So in terms of like late game fight damage, you still got that there on that side at least.
He does have more things to worry about though. The Lucian is going to have to worry about the Gragas ultimate splitting him from the rest of his team, and then Vi locking onto him. If that's exactly what this heavy bot lane wants, if they can split up the team, then Vi's going to get that lock on straight to Lucian. If they take out that damage target, that is a tremendous amount of Cloud9 EU's damage for the team fight. If they can actually kill Lucian at the beginning, then it will be huge. And that's exactly what they're going to be looking to do, because he has not built a defensive item.
Yeah, he hasn't, but at the very least, Voidal has. You said earlier he loves Face the Mountain, upgrading the Targon shield, and it's here already here for Voidal, who's also going towards Aegis to presumably lock it. So that's actually three shields, because it's Thresh, that he can give here and then later on in this game. So though the AD carry is not building any defense, Voidal's doing it for him.
Right. That's why it's so important, the Gragas ultimate. When that comes in, if he split Voidal far enough away, then they can try and burst down that Lucian in that split second.
That'd be just so unfortunate. You're just like, no! You're like reaching out and the lantern's like flying away from you. It's like in slow motion. That'd be horrible. It'd be like terrifying. You're just dying.
I like your Voidal voice impersonation too. That's pretty much just what it sounds like.
Pretty sure. All Estonians have really high-pitched voices.
Wow, look at the Caitlyn though coming out with the Guardian Angel. Even though she's already this far behind on damage, feeling like gonna have to go with that defensive item. So this means even if the Jarvan Riven and Mundo dive all the way onto that Caitlyn to catch her, never mind. Here's the initiate.
A little bit of damage coming across, but a good lantern by Voidal is going to keep his teammates safe right there. Mundo popping his ulti pretty early on as well. It does force just some pretty low cooldowns out of Cloud9 EU. Otherwise, they're all right. No ultis burned at all, actually, by heavy bot lane. So, just kind of a false start right there. Not a lot going on. But, you know, Baron's coming back up in a minute, and if I'm Cloud9 EU, I'm like, no, it still hasn't worked out for us yet. Maybe we should.
It hasn't worked out for them, but they don't have a strong sieging team. That's why this game has slowed down so much. Why we've been waiting around, you know, for the past almost 6-7 minutes here. Because Cloud9 EU, they don't really have a great siege team, and they're really looking for a team fight around an objective where they can pull heavy bot lane away from those turrets and then make use of all that mobility that they have, because they still have an amazingly mobile team. And since Riven has picked up the Black Cleaver on top of her Hydra, she can armor shred in an area which will multiply the damage of pretty much everybody else on her team.
That's true. That is going to be all kinds of scary. I just want to point out that this is twice in a row that someone has accidentally taken the red buff away from Caitlyn. The first time Shyvana Burnout ticked it. This time it was actually the Sunfire cape with Vi stole it away. So we actually haven't had a red buff Kate all game, unless she got one off a corpse.
Now, okay, that was probably an accident, because she was walking away and the AoE burn took it, but it's not a terrible thing. It's actually really strong to have late game tanks with red buffs, because they'll be getting off just as many, if not more, auto attacks than the AD carry. AD carries at this point in the game spend so much of their time running and trying to kite, that actually having a red buff on the Vi, who's going to be looking to kill Lucian just as fast as possible, or on the Shyvana, who's doing the same thing, is just pretty much just as good.
Yeah, not to mention, actual melee red buff slow is a higher slow than a range champion with one. So I really feel you on that one. I guess you're right. Yeah, they could pick someone down and pin them out. It's definitely not the end of the world here. The funny thing is, actually, you kind of talked about where buffs are going. C9 have given Fadivin the blue buff every single time just for the 10 CDR on Riven. That's the only thing it gives him, and he's fine with it. But there's the initiation, goes in on Illusion, does have a Lantern, picks that up nicely, but there comes Q into the front lines. Can he survive long enough? Culling comes across, Kefka TiMe tanks all of it right now, and already one's gonna go down. Zhonya's ends, and it's goodbye to Gragas. Fight still going on, Kefka TiMe goes down as well. C9 EU just evaporating heavy bot lane right now. 4 dead right now, double kill, and the Guardian Angel's not gonna be enough. Goodbye, ace for Cloud9 EU.
Heavy bot lane just rushing that initiate a little bit. They saw Lucian and wanted to grab him. You could tell right after the Vi flashed in to get her ulti off and hold him in place. Gragas also flashed forward to try and get his barrel off and knock Lucian into the team, but he was just too late. A little bit too slow, a little bit too far behind, knocked him away, and they paid for it with an ace.
They paid for it with their game as well. Cloud9 EU taking the Nexus turrets down, and the Nexus itself going to fall as well. Welcome C9 EU to the Challenger Series. Welcome to the top 8. We'll be seeing more of you guys next week.
Really great opening from them. I love the lane phase. I love the first, few dragons. Really good team fights, but they did have a few problems concerning the vision control late game. They had the tools. They had a bunch of sweepers, a bunch of pink wards. They actually had multiple people buy pink wards, but they couldn't time them right. And they were never in the right spot. They only had 2 people trying Baron, never really got it quick enough. And 2 people hiding in a bush is not going to be a good trap.
Yeah, and this is actually something by their own admission as well. Cloth5 did an interview with these guys and said, yeah, we're all really good players, but we don't have the teamwork and coordination down just yet. We're working on that one. And, well, it's do or die for you guys, so we'll see what they can do in the next week. But, guys, got to take a quick break. When you return, it's our second Challenger Series showdown of the night as Tick, Trick, and Duck takes on Team 4-0. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Hey, Blake and Benny here. Today we're testing the G430 with 7.1 Dolby surround sound. When you hear a sound, you point to where it's coming from. Snipers engage. Snipers? Ah! Right, left, front, back. Okay. Snipers disengage. 7 channels of digital audio versus duct tape. There's no competition. The G430 lets you hear what you can't see.
Adjustments will have to be made.
Want thousands of Riot points to boost your League of Legends game? Get RP Plus from American Express Serve. It's a full-service prepaid account that rewards you with RP on the things you already buy. So when you buy things like peripherals and lunch, you'll be earning RP with virtually every purchase. Plus, it has no credit checks or hidden fees, and comes with the safety and security of American Express. That's why RP Plus from American Express Serve is going to change your game. Start earning thousands of RP with RP Plus from American Express Serve now. To learn more about the full-service prepaid account, go to serve.com/League of Legends.
Welcome back to the 2014 European Challenger Series. It's time for our second game of the night, Tick, Trick, and Duck versus Team 4-0. The winner of this game will earn a spot in the round of 8, where they'll take on Storm Games Clan in a best of 3 next Friday, January 24th.
I'm excited for this one because we've already seen a couple of these teams pick some interesting champions that we haven't seen in a while, namely like Xerath.
Yeah, these guys, Team 4-0 runs a lot of really interesting things. I want to see what they do in this one as well. And it reminds me of Rokat as well, where they ran the Pantheon Malphite. Like, I love teams that run weird stuff. It's always really entertaining because people will be like, oh, you're right, that's really good. And then like the game changes forever because of the champion. Yeah,
I mean, using the Malphite Xerath combo is just as scary. Yeah. Keeping someone in the same spot. Xerath is one of the highest damage long-range mages that we have in the entire game.
Yeah, you think Ziggs is scary? Nah. Well, Xerath got banned out. Okay. Yeah, I would do the exact same thing if I were Tick, Trick, and Duck. Of course, Ziggs banned back away by Team 4-0. The Draven, these guys just look at the last match and be like, yeah, you know, yeah, Sola carried on Draven last game. So, okay, we'll ban that away.
Yeah, he had some pretty good stats there. Draven, such a snowbally AD carry now that's become popular again. Even after the passive change, you know, first knee-jerk reaction, everybody hated the change because it reduced his in-lane power very early game. But what it does is mean you can get giant boosts of gold mid and late game when you do get those kills coming in. And then it's really hard to get back on his level. If he starts out with lifesteal, the extra damage from his axes just means he sustains like a monster, and he can just duel anyone, even the tanks that come straight at him.
Yeah, absolutely. So the Riven, the Elise, the last bands coming through. Well, not the last bands, but the Riven, last one for Tick, Trick, and Duck, the Elise, and one more for Team 4-0. And I want to see what comes out of this one, really. Tick, Trick, and Duck, a much more standard sort of setup here. Ziggs and Elise actually champions that they also played last time around here. These guys, they're just saying, okay, well, that's the thing that you did. Okay, we'll remove that. And they just kind of move on from there. And oh, there's the Yasuo ban you're looking for.
Yeah, well, I was looking more for picks.
Well, yeah, I mean, to be fair,
but bans.
I want to see him too.
Bans, we'll take those too. Yeah, we still haven't seen some cool Yasuo play in competitive, but we're hoping for it soon.
Okay, so first pick, these guys got to think what they want to go for. And, you know, with every support available and almost everything else, they go with the first pick, Vi. So Tick, Trick, and Duck wanting a strong jungle presence early on and saying, all right, take what you want.
It's a solid all-around pick. Vi works with pretty much any team composition that you want to run. Having that guaranteed edge gauge, she's just an all-around really good jungler and does put extra fear into especially mid laners because it's a short lane, and worrying about that ultimate coming at you level 6 from the jungle is definitely a scary thing. Yep. But like you said, no support bans this time around, which we've seen a lot of support bans pretty much in all regions on this patch. So it's going to be the Annie, the Thresh, the Leona that are really kind of the top 3 floating around right now.
Yeah.
And it's really first come, first serve here.
And you know what's interesting to me as well is like Vi and Thresh are both two of those champions where it's like they got nerfed and people didn't play them quite. Well, I guess Thresh stayed in there, but like Vi was one of those that was like big in the beginning of season 3 and people stopped and was like, you know, actually Vi's still really good. Right? Same with Raven, same with a lot of these. And I always like those champions where people realize that they're still good and come back to them a couple months later. And of course Annie, there you go, the Annie coming through. The Renekton actually the blind pick top lane here. So Team 4-0 starting their plan out.
Yeah, that's really when you know it was a good nerf, when the knee-jerk reaction, oh no, don't play anymore, but then I'll go back to her eventually.
They're still good.
Still strong, still strong. That combo right now is a complete kill combo. A Leona plus Jinx, yes, you know the pain. The level 2 in this duo is ridiculously strong. If you let them get to the lane first and shove the first minions down, then you're going to have to play defensively from the entire early game right there. Because if Leona lands anything on you and keeps you in place for a second, she can follow it up with the chompers from Jinx, and it's going to be ridiculous amounts of damage. You can't move. You're probably going to die.
Probably gonna die. It's unfortunate, and Jinx just loves to make people die, so I gotta say, Tick, Trick, and Duck, pretty happy with that lane. Team
but
for Nothing.
She has the best intentions.
It's true, and then you're just sad when you're on the receiving end of those intentions. But Team for Nothing, ready to make their own adaptations here, looking for one of those top priority AD carries, Lucian coming through. They were hovering Lee Sin earlier and decided not going to be Lee Sin. It's going to be Jarvan, actually. They waited the last second. I blinked, and it changed
Probably
colors.
watching the last game there. Looked like a pretty good Jarvan game, so they decided to go with it. Just on a whim.
Yeah, why not?
But I really do like the combo because we kind of touched on it in the last game where, Jarvan's got the armor penetration. Renekton as well with the slice and dice. So they have some other sources of armor penetration they can use to boost Lucian's damage late game. Meanwhile, the bottom duo lane matchup here, this is pretty much the powerhouse of bottom lanes. Yeah. If these two go up, I'm really excited to see these two lanes go up against each other because those two combos are pretty much the strongest combos that people have been using recently.
That's true, yeah. Only the Draven ban really removing champions from that sort of...
Draven and Thresh would be the other combo that would be able to contend with these. Besides that,
One day we'll see all three fighting, and they'll all join different teams somehow. And here we go, the last few picks coming through, and right now they're looking at, all right, we got Jungle Vi, we've got some freaking ton of engage. Let's add some frontliners to go follow through. Dr. Mundo there for the top lane. The Kazakhs mid. Blind pick mid laner actually here. That's going to be a fun one here for Snow.
Now, Kazakhs pretty much has kill potential on almost any mid laner. He does struggle a lot with wave clear early on. And so that's why we've seen a lot of Kazakhs actually evolving the Spike rack instead early so that they can keep up in CS in the early game and not fall behind so far, even if they don't get a kill. If you don't evolve that rack early, then you're banking on getting a kill to keep you in the game. I really like people that don't evolve the rack early, though, because it's much more exciting. People like Alex Each, who evolved wings first to go for the kill and then hop back out, which he did successfully over in the EU LCS.
I like it, but here we go. The pick is going to be something with good wave clear and some pretty good defensive opportunities as well. Orianna coming through here for Neki, saying, all right, well, I'm going to be able to push you back. And maybe that's going to be what works for him here as we get the lineups going through. What do you think about these teams, Kobe?
All around, really solid lineup here for the T4N team. They've got Initiate, amazing Initiate. Whenever you have Annie on the team, pick that 1 second. It was a really good pickup because Flash Tibbers, not a lot of counterplay to that. Pretty much one of the best engages that you can have. And they also have a classic frontline with the Jarvan and Renekton, very beefy. And then, decent damage dealers. Orianna's great with control as well. And she's also a great answer to the Kazakhs lane on the other side. Meanwhile, the TTD here, they're looking for that single target kill to get for Kazakhs with Vi so that he can get a reset.
Wow, so pretty bursty, a lot of engage there for sure. Guys, it's going to be a fun one. Now as the teams load into the game, let's break down these two squads and how they earn their spot in this match. We're going to start with Tick, Trick, and Duck on the blue side.
So it was Tick, Trick, and Duck that had a great game yesterday. They were taking out the team champions is actually what the team is called in under 31 minutes. And just about everyone on the team put up really strong numbers. Their AD carry, Sunny, he went 7-4 on Jinx, and then their mid laner, so he went 8-1-4 with Ziggs.
Yeah, and of course we saw a lot of these guys being banned. Of course, Jinx still returning here in this game. So a lot of these guys still getting comfort picks. Now, of course, on the red side, it's going to be Team for Nothing, a team that actually pulled off a huge upset in their first Challenger game.
Team for Nothing is a last place seed, actually, in the Challenger Series. But that didn't faze them yesterday. They took out the #1 seed in EUNE, Eternity Gaming, and they did a really good job. Their